Good morning all, Srinivas here. Welcome to VMware session. Who joined, please Ankit and Pooja. Hi Ankit, good morning. Hi Pooja, good morning. Am I audible? We'll wait for 5 more minutes and we'll start the session. This is a demo session. Right now, by 9:05, we are going to start the session. Thank you. Hi Manikandan, good morning.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, everyone, good morning all. Welcome to VMware administration session. We are going to start by 9:05. If you want to speak, please raise your hand. I'm going to unmute yourselves. Okay, we are ready to start the session. Thanks for all your participation. Welcome to VMware administration session. Here I'm Srinivas here, the trainer. So let me start, and everyone is ready to speak, and you can unmute yourself, and you can speak out if at all if you have any query. But once you are done, please make yourself mute. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your cooperation. Okay, let me start. And this is a demo session about VMware administration, what we are going to cover, what are the topics we are going to discuss, and all those things we are going to address. So, agenda, introduction about myself, and you can introduce yourself, what is your expectations and all those things, and course content, and the training procedure, how it is going to conduct this training, and some of the key lab sessions, what we are going to do in lab. That is today's agenda, and this is considered as a demo session. Okay. Coming to the myself, let me introduce myself. I am Srinivas, Leela Srinivas, having a 22 years of industry, IT industry experience. I work on customer support executive. I started my career as a customer support executive, and the different roles completed, was still working on IT industry. And coming to VMware, 15 years of experience in VMware in different levels, and teaching training experience, 6 years. Delivered the training sessions to different corporates like IBM, HP, and wherever the external trainings. Okay. I'm certified VMware professional. So this is about myself. You can introduce yourself. What is your name? What is your experience? And you are from which location? And what is your expectation? You can unmute yourself, and one by one, you can speak up. Please proceed. If you are unable to unmute yourself, you can raise your hand. I can allow you to speak.
Hi, I'm Manigandan. I'm having experience 1 year experience of Windows.
Okay.
I'm from Tamil Nadu.
Okay. What is your expectations?
Expectation VMware full
Okay.
expecting host upgradation everything in VMware.
Okay. Very good. Very good, Manikandan. Thanks for joining the session. Yeah. I'll explain what are the topics we are going to cover, and I'll make sure your expectations are meeting or not. Okay. Thank you, Manikandan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, please next. Everyone, please speak up one by one. If you are, I'll call the names if you are wishing to start. So Manikandan is done. Hi Ashish, good morning. You can unmute yourself. Ashish, are you there?
Hi, my name is Ashish, and I'm having 7+ years of experience in Windows and enterprise domain, and I'm basically from Pune.
Okay.
And my expectation is to be VMware certified.
Okay. Are you working on VMware environment?
Not really. I worked on a Hyper-V mostly, but this is something I want to learn.
Very good, Ashish. Thanks for joining the session. I'll make sure to reach your expectations. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Ankit. Good morning. Please unmute yourself. Ankit, are you there? Okay. Hi, Jenny. Jenny Kaur. Good morning. Please unmute yourself. Okay. Hi, Pankaj. Good morning. Pankaj, are you there? You can unmute. Everyone can unmute and you can speak it up. Okay. Hi, Pawni. Hello. Hi, Pooja.
Hi, Srinivas. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak up. Actually, I'm from Pune, and I'm having total 4 year of experience in as a Linux admin, and also I'm working on AWS.
Okay, great.
So, petition here, I just want to know a depth about because in my company there's most of the servers are VMware servers and deployed in ESXi host. So I want to know how the things are working and what is there in the background. That's why my motive is to join this class, so that's why I'm here.
Thanks, Pooja. Thanks. Welcome to VMware session. It is the right place to learn. I'm going to make sure you reach your expectations. Yeah, thank you, Pooja. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, Selvaras.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hi, Selvaras. Good morning. Yes, your name, your experience, location, and what is your expectations?
Currently, I'm working as VMware administrator.
Okay, good. Okay.
So we are supporting for 24/7 for our Windows and Red Hat. We are supporting production support server.
Okay. Okay.
So currently, just I joined today. Before session, I not unable to join.
As you already working on VMware environment, what is your expectations? Which version you are working on?
6.5 we are working on it, but I want to know about some topic NS section, like that topic also you people are teaching.
I'll let you know what is the topics are going to cover in this class. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for the welcome to session. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Srikanth. Good morning. You can unmute yourself and you can speak up. Okay. Brajesh, good morning. Rawat, good morning. Okay. If anyone are missing, you can unmute yourself and you can speak up and you can ask what is your expectations and all those things. Okay. Let me proceed my session. Okay. This is introduction is done. Self-introduction and the tiny introduction. Coming to the topics. What is the course details? We are going to cover VMware vSphere data center virtualization. It is course is designed for 7.0 and it is going to cover earlier versions 6.5. We are going to start installation and explore and what are the options are available from 6.5 onwards. Once 6.5 is done, we are going to upgrade from 6.5 to 6.7, from 6.7 to 7.0. A vCenter server as well as a ESXi host, what are the requirements to fulfill this upgradation activity? And at the end, we are going to upgrade even 7.0 to 8.0. The current version is 8.0. So we are going to cover enter VMware infrastructure like data center virtualization. It is all talks about that ESXi host and vCenter server. Okay, there are other products are available like vSAN, NSX, and other deployments part of different products. We are not going to cover, but we are going to give you overview what is vSAN, what is the NSX, and all those things. Okay, primarily we are going to cover the data center virtualization 7.0. Okay, to reach that point, we are going to understand the previous versions, because earlier versions, whatever the environments are running currently, they are the 6.5 and 6.7 end of life. They need to upgrade to the latest version, either 7.0 or 8.0. So to upgrade to the latest version, the supported version from the end of life products, what are the things we need to consider? What are the things we need to check? All those things we are going to cover in this particular training session. Okay. That is all about the training module. To begin that with that, what we need to understand, why virtualization? As people are working on right now different technologies, and we need to understand why virtualization. Okay, what is the type of virtualizations are available? We have different types of virtualization vendors like VMware, Microsoft, Citrix, and all those things. Okay, and the Red Hat as well, Nutanix, and many virtualization vendors are available. What type of architecture they are coming from? What is a VMware architecture? What is the Microsoft Hyper-V architecture? Citrix Zen server architecture? Okay, we are just going to overview what type of virtualization it belongs to. As we are going to learn about the VMware virtualization, that is VMware vSphere data center virtualization. What is the architecture? Okay, that is we are going to cover. Okay, so as we are going to understand and deploy this virtualization layer, okay, first of all, why virtualization is going to come into picture? So virtualization means it is just like imagination. To create an imagination, we need to understand certain basic components, some basic hardware things, what we are going to do, what we are going to do, virtualize, what we are going to imagine, the hardware, the server, the physical server. The physical server, what are the components? Okay, what are the components we are going to virtualize and we are going to create, okay, in virtualization environment, like processor, the motherboard, the RAM, storage, and network. These components to virtualize, first we need to understand the physical entity, how it looks like, what are the servers are available, and how we are going to deploy virtual servers. Okay, so by deploying virtual servers, we are able to install operating system and running on this virtualization layer. So we need to understand the basic hardware components which belongs to physical server. Entire virtualization layer is going to work on the physical server, no matter what virtualization vendor it may be. It is maybe VMware, it might be Microsoft or Nutanix or Citrix. Everything they are going to create the virtual servers. How they are going to create virtual servers? By using virtualization layer, where we are going to install this virtualization layer. Okay, that's so that we need to understand what types of server hardwares are available. We call it as a tower server. We call it as a rack server. We call it as a blade server. What is this physical servers look like? Without understanding the physical architecture, physical component of the server, we are not in a position to virtualize, imagine how the server is look like. Okay, so we are going to give the logic labs technologies. We are going to give hands-on practice on Dell PowerEdge rack servers. We are going to connect. We are going to provide a lab environment wherein you are going to connect the physical server and you are going to access the server, how to deploy from the scratch. You can enter BIOS and you can configure the BIOS setting, and you are going to install that ESXi host and vCenter server and all those components. We are going to provide Dell PowerEdge rack servers and to practice, okay, whatever the installation, what are the lab modules we are going to explain, everything we are going to do practice on Dell PowerEdge rack servers, live hands-on practice. And this lab we are going to provide, you can connect this servers from anywhere, from any device. The only thing is that you required only that remote desktop to, once you connect remote desktop, one of the Windows server, from that Windows server, you can treat that server as a jump server. Generally in live environment, you are going to connect specific customer, you are going to connect a jump server. From there, we are able to access the servers, client servers, customer servers, right? The same way, we designed the lab in such a way that you can access the physical servers, and whatever the servers you are going to deploy, everything you can access and by connecting to this lab environment. You can connect from anywhere, okay, from any system. So by once you connect to the lab environment, you are in a position to install, configure, troubleshoot. These all these versions, ESXi, vCenter server. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to start installation on 6.5 because most of the environments are running on 6.5. Now we need to understand how to upgrade this environment to 7.0. How the environments from 6.7 to 7.0, how to perform upgrade. What are the things we need to consider to proceed with the installation and upgradation activities. And we are going to deploy the VMs, virtual servers, virtual machines, and storage, the VMFS. We are going to discuss about switches, how to configure switches, distributed switches, standard switches, and the important component cluster switches. If you are not speaking, please go on mute, please. Thank you. Okay. So we are going to discuss about the cluster features. What is HA? What is DRS? And all those things. Once we install vCenter server, what are the components are available? We are going to explore each and everything. And I'm going to provide a session in the 1 hour session. I'm going to provide a in-depth knowledge of how to configure, how to access, and all those things. It is ever responsibility. And we are going to give a lab access wherein you are going to practice. As if you see, if you go and attend any kind of training, for example, VMware authorized training, what they are going to do, it is a 5 days training, authorized training. The 5 days training, each day 8 hours. Morning session, it will cover entire theory part, and afternoon session, it is going to provide lab access. The lab access, you are not in a position to access the physical servers. It is everything, it's a scripted base. Once you execute that script, it is going to install and it is going to configure and it is going to lab manual. Each and every step will be there. You just need to access that lab. You just need to access that IP address to connect the lab environment. But in Logic Labs Technologies, we are providing a lab in such a way that you are going to do each and everything. It is not a script based. You are going to install ESXi host. You are going to install vCenter server on your own hands. You can practice. So you cannot practice this kind of lab in any session, any training sessions. That's a unique session, unique lab environment which we are providing to each and every student. So you can practice and you can learn and you can explore the technology. What are the objects, what are the issues are going to come into picture. If you go authorized training or any other training institute, everything is a kind of script. If you execute the script, it will work. If something is modified, that script will not work, that issues are going to come into picture. Again, you need to start that from the scratch. So this is not in that way. Whatever the lab we are providing, it is not like that. You are going to install. You are going to do multiple times whenever you want. You can do from the scratch. Okay, we are going to give the lab environment in such a way that you can do all the actions which you cannot perform in live environment. So whatever the action you would like to practice, you can do in this lab. That is a great feature which we are going to provide. The next one is upgrade scenarios. You can upgrade whatever current version which you are working. For example, you are working on 5.x environment. How to upgrade? What are the things you need to consider? We can install and you can practice and you can upgrade from that version to the latest version. What is the available options? Okay, we can correlate whatever the environment you are working right now. We can correlate and we can discuss the session on this live sessions. Okay, next one is the migrations, the conversions, P2V, physical to virtual, virtual to virtual migrations, how we are going to do. We are going to practice by using VMware standalone converter. There are multiple tools are available. Just for understanding purpose, how this conversion tool is going to work. Okay, P2V or V2V. P2V is just like a physical to virtual, whereas in V2V is nothing but virtual, any kind of virtual environment to VMware. Okay, this is a V2V migration. So it is going to conversion from, for example, a customer is there. The customer is running on Hyper-V. They would like to migrate that environment from Hyper-V Microsoft to virtualization VMware. What are the tools? Then the concept is going to come into picture, V2V. Okay, what tool we are going to use? As we are migrating the environment to the virtualization VMware, so whatever the product, whatever the application is compatible, that application we need to use to convert to that previous environment to VMware virtualization. That's the reason we are discussing about vCenter Converter Standalone Edition. We are going to install and we are going to try to migrate few VMs. Okay. So the next one is update manager, VMware update manager. It is a previous version. We are going to use VMware update manager from 7.0. It is lifecycle manager. If you understand VMware update manager, yes, Sai. Sai, you are allowed to speak.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sai.
Sir, I want to practice. This course. Where I want to practice, sir? If you after completing the, will you provide recording? Will you provide any?
See, this course, whatever the sessions we are going to present, everything on day-to base, it is going to record. It is going to cloud record, and the record sessions available to each and every student for lifetime. And this lab environment, whatever the lab environment we are going to provide, this lab environment is available for 30 to 40 days. So if you want to extend this lab, you can coordinate with admin team to practice.
Okay. 45 days course, 30 days course, right, sir? Only these are only topics will you cover? Some more need to cover some more topics also.
See, it is based on expectations. What we are going to cover, if it is part of this topic, we are going to provide information about whatever the topic we are going to ask. For example, if you are going to ask the vSAN and NSX, just we are going to provide overview that NSX and vSAN is requires additional component. And to fulfill that additional component, it is the infrastructure should be available to practice those sessions. Okay. So we are going to provide just overview about other products. We are going to cover in this particular session the data center virtualization. Okay.
Yeah, actually, at present I'm working in VMware only.
Okay.
Actually, these all are basic concepts, mostly basic concepts only. V's and those are real time, right? Somewhat advanced level. You are saying that if you require, you will provide only basic level vSAN training. You are saying.
Yes, vSAN and NSX, it requires some prerequisites. What are the prerequisites? That whatever the ESXi host we are going to install, that ESXi host should have that internal storage, some specific requirement, flash disk, and all those things.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah,
So
more
SSD. Yes, please.
in this presentation also almost you covered main topics, sir. Good it is, but better to add some more advanced topics so that it will helpful to learn others also and me too.
Sure, sure. We'll definitely take your inputs and we'll consider and we'll prepare one more training session for the to cover those vSAN and NSX. Okay.
Okay,
But
sir.
in this training, it is only talks about data center virtualization. If you understand this data center virtualization from the scratch, it is very easy to understand vSAN. It is just enabling the plugin in vCenter server to enable that vSAN. But to enable that vSAN, that hardware, whatever the hardware you are going to install ESXi host, okay, that should have the internal disk in such a way that to fulfill that vSAN requirements. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone, any other questions? Please go on mute if you are done. Okay. Coming to this update manager and lifecycle manager, for every environment, we need to make sure it is compliant, that what are the ESXi host, what are the vCenter server we are going to work. We need to make sure the patches are installed and up to date to meet the compliance requirement, vulnerability fix, a security bug fix, and whatever it may be, everything we need to do the make sure that environment is up to date and compliant. So how we are going to make it compliant? What tool we are going to use? How we are going to install patches? So 6.5 and 6.7, it is same thing. It is going to convert in 7.4 as a lifecycle manager. How we are going to update? We are going to upgrade the environment by using update manager. It is inbuilt in 6.5, 6.7. The same update manager, it is converted and it is a more latest version as they are going to call it as a lifecycle manager. But the concept is same. The update manager and lifecycle manager, how we are going to configure to make sure the environment is up to date and compliant. We are going to discuss about update manager, how it is going to work, and how the lifecycle manager you need to configure and all those things. The last one, exploring CLI, command line. What are the things we can do from command line? What are the important commands we can execute as part of this troubleshooting, as part of this VMware administration? That we are going to explore. Any doubts as of now about the first details? Okay. So the training procedure, how it is going to, each day we are going to conduct 1 hour. It is going to extend based on the understanding of the participants. This course is designed in such a way that to cover each day 1 hour, and the remaining time you are in a position to connect to the lab environment and you can practice. That is the way it is designed, and whatever the session, whatever the notes, everything will be recorded and it will be available for lifetime. Okay, so these are live sessions, kind of interactive session. It is not a recorded session, it is a live session. I am going to explain the topic, I am going to present the topic in your sessions environment, and then the notes, what are the points we are going to discuss, the points we are going to mention in the notes file. That record and the notes both are available in a cloud wherein you can access anytime from anywhere. So one more important point in this particular thing, it is kind of correlation with your live environment. currently you are working, maybe working in your live environment, you are not able to access something and how to configure. We can correlate, we can clarify your doubts related to this data center virtualization. Whatever the topics we are going to cover, I can correlate with your live environment wherein you can check, but you can do the practice. Whatever the lab environment we are going to provide, you can do replicate if possible and do the practice. You cannot perform troubleshooting R&D on your live environment. So wherein we are going to provide this replica environment, you can create a replica by doing the practice, and then you can do R&D as per your wish. Okay, that is the way we are providing this Logic Labs technologies unique. The lab environment, the live servers, the physical servers are available. You can do from the scratch and you can configure whatever the way you want. Okay, so lab access will be provided to everyone to get a hands-on practice. Lab is accessible by 24/7 from anywhere, from any device. And one more option is available. Customized training sessions are available from day to day. For example, you are working on live environment wherein you need to manage some environment. So if at all any participant is looking for kind of customized training, Logic Labs technologies are ready to provide the customized training according to your requirements. You need to just coordinate with admin team. Admin team will redirect that inputs to trainer, and trainer will provide the basic information. Okay. So whatever the information you are looking for, whatever the training sessions you are looking for, everything available online, wherein other sessions there is no record sessions. For example, if you go for authorized VMware training, wherein that is not a record session, it's a lab manual will be there. Everything, it is a kind of script based. You need to execute that script. What purpose you are executing, you are not going to get a picture. As soon as you execute the script, it is going to install ESXi host and it is going to configure the IP. It is going to configure the teaming, whatever the uplinks and all those things. But in this particular VMware lab, which we are providing, you are going to do hands-on practice. You are going to configure each and every step. So you are going to get a live expertise and you are going to explore different directions. All the things, it is depends upon how you practice. Hope it is clear. Any clarification, any doubts? This is a training module which we are going to provide. Now I'm going to, if you know questions, I'm going to showcase some important how we are going to provide access to the environment, what are the servers we are going to do practice. Okay. Generally, we are going to provide lab environment to connect. We are going to provide a session to connect this server. It is a public IP, that remote desktop connection, which can be accessible from anywhere, any location. So as soon as you connect to this environment, this is going to be kind of this, you are going to provide credentials and you are going to connect this environment with this particular, whatever the username and whatever the credentials it provided to you. So once you are into the system, you are going to authorize to perform whatever the lab modules provided to you. For example, we are going to provide Dell PowerEdge servers, wherein you are going to access the Dell PowerEdge servers through remotely. Once you connect to this particular server, you are able to connect the physical servers. What are the physical servers? We have Dell PowerEdge rack servers, and which is remote management card. It is Dell remote managed integrated Dell remote access controller. This is a Dell server. So another one is one more server. This is one more rack server. This is also same thing. We are going to provide username credentials to connect this environment and to access to practice your lab practice. Okay, so I am going to enter. I'm going to, as soon as you enter, you are going to access to the server from the base level. You can connect a console and you are in a position to perform whatever the option you can perform. Power on the server. This is a lab which we are going to access. Okay, once as soon as you connect to this particular remote desktop session, you are able to access to this physical server and you are in a position to power on, power off. I'm going to power on this server and it is going to connect, and what it is done, we can install. Okay, launching the console, you are going to connect this console and you can configure from the scratch, wherein you need to configure RAID controller. Before installing that OS, we are going to make the storage ready to configure to install any kind of OS. So this is a virtual console wherein the physical server console, how it looks like, and wherein you are going to do installation, configuration, troubleshooting, each and everything by connecting to this remote console session. How we are going to access? Whatever the virtualization you are going to learn, you are going to deploy on the physical server. In other trainings, other training modules wherein you are not going to facilitate this kind of information. You are not going to access the physical server console, but Logic Labs technology is providing each and everything from the scratch. You can do practice and you can configure whatever the way you want. Okay, so this is a lab environment wherein you can access entire servers. Coming back to this, so once this ESX host installation is done, vCenter server, how it is going to be, this is the way we are going to connect the remote desktop servers. And then once it is connected, you are able to access to the Dell PowerEdge rack servers. We have this environment. It is configured with R630 and R820 Dell PowerEdge servers. As soon as you can access this ID rack, integrated Dell remote access controller. For Dell servers, if your environment is having HP servers or Cisco servers, whatever the servers you are managing, as a trainer, I can provide inputs, how to access, how to do this BIOS update, firmware update, what are the things we are going to check to perform the upgrade activity. Okay, as a VMware administrator, it is your responsibility to make sure you provide all the information to check to perform the upgrade activity successfully. So if you have any doubts towards our real-time environment, we are happy to provide, okay, as part of this training. You are going to configure RAID configure. Will you able to do RAID configure in your live environment? No, but you can practice what is RAID configuration, how it is configured in real-time environment. You can delete a logical drive, you can create as per requirement, what is the RAID configuration. Okay, these are all the things we are not in a position to perform any kind of training that we are providing. See installation, how installation is going to proceed, and you are going to mount the ISO image, you are going to perform the installation. Okay, and vCenter server installation, you are going to install vCenter server. You are going to perform upgrade from vCenter server 6.5 to 6.7, 6.5 to 7.0. What is the upgrade path is available? Everything we are going to cross check in this particular training module. Cluster features, how we are going to configure cluster, how to configure HA, what are the features are available in HA, what is the DRS, what is the DRS rules, affinity rules, anti-affinity rules. Everything we are going to configure and understand why we are doing those configurations. Okay, and you can cross-check what is the configuration in a live environment and how to provide permission, how to restrict the permissions, how to integrate Active Directory to the vCenter server to make sure use of live environment permissions and restrictions. This is a standalone converter wherein we are going to use converting a. Yes, Sai? Yeah, please unmute yourself and speak up. Sai, are you going to ask anything?
Sir, is it possible Active Directory is the support in VMware? Like in Windows Server, in Active Directory we create users, right? Like that in VMware it is possible, sir.
Yes, vCenter server as a single works on single sign-on. It has its own single sign-on concept wherein you can create users and you can assign permissions. But the thing is that as the environment, each and every environment is working on single sign-on concept, that vCenter server will be integrated with Active Directory so that whatever the users are available in Active Directory, those users can be able to manage this environment.
Not sir. In VMware we create a virtual machine, right? In that virtual machine we provide Windows.
So let me understand. You are going to create a virtual machine in VMware, and once VMware virtual machine is created, you are going to load Windows operating system on top of it. Once Windows OS is loaded, you are going to install Active Directory. Then what is your query, please? Your voice is breaking, Sai. Okay, it is disconnected due to some internet issues. Okay, back to this topic. So we are going to do the physical to virtual and virtual to virtual also. So you can do whatever the way, what are the purpose we are going to do this kind of conversation. For every action, there is a requirement. How to fulfill that requirement? How to fulfill that customer's requirements to get that particular server? Yes, sir. Yes, I.
My question, you did not give answer, sir. Is it possible or not? I am asking.
Yes, yes. Please repeat again your question.
In virtual machine we provide a Windows server, right? In
Yes.
that we create Active Directory. In that users we create, right?
Yes, exactly.
Those users access the can connect connect and they can work, right? Users
Yes, exactly.
like that in VMware it is possible. I'm asking.
See, VMware vCenter
In
server, it is
in
comes.
VMware we send virtual machine. In that I'm asking in physical process in real time cloud environment it is possible or not? I'm asking.
Let me understand your question. See, vCenter server, it comes with single sign-on, wherein you are able to integrate Active Directory. If that Active Directory server can be part of virtual environment, can be part of cloud. But the only thing is that if you want to that specific users to log into this particular vCenter server to manage virtual servers or ESXi host or performing any kind of activity, you need to provide permission.
That I know,
To
sir.
provide the permissions, yes.
That I understood. I'm not asking. You are saying that creating users to access the vCenter
Yes.
means vSphere. I'm asking that. Physically with Windows Server we create users, right? Those users log in and access that user. They can suppose my name is Saipon. In Windows Server, I'm creating a user as Saipon, and I log in with the domain domainly
Okay.
login user Saipon, and I will work with the Saipon user like
Okay.
that. like that in virtual machine, 2000 example 2016 server we install in that
Okay.
Saipon server will create
Okay.
like that. Though that user is possible to convert a domain and domainly. I'm asking.
See, that's what I'm coming from. You install Active Directory and you created a user
Uh,
in this Active Directory, that is Sai7. And
yes,
that Sai7, you are able to log in to that Windows server and you are able to manage that Windows server.
yes,
With
yes.
the same domain ID, can I manage the vCenter server? Is that your question?
N- No, vCenter not, sir. In vCenter created virtual machine, is it possible? I'm asking.
Yes. See, for example, you are going to create a user Sai7 and Active Directory. Okay.
Yes.
That Sai7 is going to connect the vCenter server. How with this domain? How you are going to connect vCenter server? This domain, whatever the domain you are working, that domain you are going to integrate in vCenter server single sign-on. Once it is integrated, then you are able to log in with vCenter server with this Sai7. Once you are logging, you are going to set up permissions on vCenter server to manage this virtual machine. That is possible. You can manage not only virtual machine, you can restrict any kind of in a hierarchy inventory. You can restrict ESXi host, you can restrict virtual machine, even including this Active Directory virtual machine also. If, for example, Sai7 is there, Sai7 can manage this virtual machine, shutting down the Active Directory, powering on this particular virtual machine, or modifying the settings of this virtual machine. Everything can be restricted that particular domain users.
Sir, you are saying that VMware, sir. I'm asking that leave it VMware. I'm asking in Windows Server physically what we are doing that it is possible in VMware. I'm asking. You are saying that I know, sir. You are asking that user creating in you for us. Suppose I'm you create a Saipon user giving a permissions to Saipon to log in ESXi with some permissions to create a virtual machines. Those permission you are that explaining. I'm
Yeah.
asking that we Windows Server we create the in that your user we create that user we provide a virtual machine that we created user need to log in that virtual machine.
See, that virtual machine login, you are talking about the Windows Server login, right?
Yeah.
Windows Server login, how you are going to provide permission, and Windows Server, you are going to local groups and available. In local groups, if you add that user to that respective group, that for example, desktop users group, if you are able to add that, that server can be able to access, right?
Yes. Yes.
What is the relation with VMware here?
Relation that it that only, sir. It is a live example. One client asked to us.
See, for example, you are deploying a virtual machine in the VMware environment, and VMware environment as well as that virtual server, both are part of domain. Okay, what are the permissions you are going to set that particular user for the respective VM or respective virtual environment? It is all depends upon how you configure permissions on Windows Server and virtual environment. There is no relation between restricting from VMware to restrict only that particular virtual machine. There is no option.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, clear?
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other queries? So back to this. So this is a physical to virtual. This is update manager, which we are going to talk about. Okay, how to configure baselines, how to import updates, how to import ESXi images to perform ESXi host upgrade, how we are going to upgrade vCenter server from old version to the latest version. We are going to cover all these topics, this particular update manager. Without creating patches, without deploying patches, we are not in a position to create baselines. We are not in a position to perform patch installation or upgrade activity. That everything is going to cover in this particular update manager, lifecycle manager. See, this is an upgrade activity for vCenter server. Through update manager or lifecycle manager, you are in a position to perform upgrade from one version of ESXi host to another version of ESXi host. But how you are going to perform vCenter server upgrade from older version to new version? How we are going to do that? This is a live example wherein you are going to practice all this on hands. Okay, you are going to install, you are going to perform upgrade, and we are going to provide the lab environment in such a way that you can do your practice without any deviations, without any impacts, without any issues. Okay. So that is all about this demo session. We covered all the information which we are going to provide and which we have the lab access and all those things. If you have any questions, if you are not able to reach your expectations, what are the topics we are covered here, please raise your hand and speak up.
Hello, sir. This is Ashish here.
Hi, Ashish. Good morning. Yeah, tell me.
So, as per the topics, I can see that you cover almost everything. But what I'm expecting is I'm new to this VMware setup. So, if you can just start with the basic terminologies like vCenter, what is vCenter, what is vSphere, ESXi, the basic
Yes,
explanation of.
that is each and everything from the scratch without hardware components. I am not going to start. Tomorrow session, I'm going to start with why virtualization. What is the product ESXi? What is the ESXi? What is vCenter server? Why we need ESXi? Why we need vCenter server? Everything from the scratch. It is not a overview session. In-depth training module to understand each and every topic. For a simplest example, Ashish, for the networking configuration on ESXi host, everyone fails on the networking configuration. We are going to provide in such a way that understanding how the switch configuration, how the systems are connected to each other, how it is replicated within virtual environment. Everything we are going to provide in-depth knowledge from the scratch. Okay, it is not just overview.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ashish. Any other queries? Yes, Pooja, you can unmute yourself and speak up.
Yeah, hello, sir. Sir, regarding on doubt part, so the support is available only for 30 days, or we can get like whenever we feel we are having query or question. So can we reach out to you or anyone to clarify our doubts or query?
Yes, the lab environment is available for nearly 30 to 40 days, and whatever the doubt you might have, we are going to provide, like my mail ID will be provided to you, and you can shoot mail communication to that mail ID, and I'm going to communicate over the mail communication. Okay, try to clarify each and everything. That is lifetime, and we are going to provide whatever the doubt you are going to have. Generally, most of the things will be covered by looking at the video. Okay, that record, what are the record session we are going to understand and we are going to practice. If you refer that to a record session, that clarifies your doubt. If at all still you are not getting some information, you can send a mail communication. It is absolutely fine.
Okay, so, but if I want to connect with you like on call, so is that possible or only mail communication is available?
Yeah, first mail communication. If at all any other issue, we'll talk to one and we'll provide that information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. Any other questions? Any other one? If no questions and everyone is clarified and clear on this training module, thanks for your participation. And
Ate C2 bara shidon.
Sorry. Okay. Thanks for all your participation. See you tomorrow in the same time, same session. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thanks very much.